Hi ladies, so this is how I lay out my hexies. I just pin them to the corkboard in the order I like, try out different things, and then once I have them all put together, I sew them in strips up and down in long lines, and then sew those lines together. So here's my attempt at showing how I do that. Here are two of my lines being started. One that I've already sewn together using a whip stitch on the back. And then another that I mostly started. Vicki Obenauer said to use tape, and I have tried that. It's amazing and awesome. This is how I do it. To whip stitch two things together straight, instead of folding them back to back like is traditionally done, I just keep them flat and hold my thumb in between, and I start out inside at the corner like is traditionally done. Come straight out. And I'm just going to catch this corner. The first edge is kind of the hardest to do. But once it's starting to pull together, I don't know if you can see that or not, I'm just catching a few threads on the back seam allowance from each side. And again, I'm holding it here. I'm just going to catch a few threads, catch a few threads, pull through, and I'm going to continue whip stitching down the length of this. And when I'm done, it pulls it together as it goes, and you have the strength of that whip stitch. I know some people put a lot more stitches than I do, but this really seems sufficient to me, and it doesn't show on the front. So, almost done here. Get down, and I sew each piece. I sew down, and then I just sew back a few stitches and cut it off until I have the strips. Once I have the strips, I just flip them over next to each other, and here's where that tape idea will come in very handy, I think, or another place, maybe I should say, where the tape will come in very handy. You just lay them together as you want them. I have a messed up sky there. And I'm just going to stick this piece of tape across here, actually across this end, to get it started, to hold that. And now I'm just going to work my way down. I'm going to zigzag, down, back, down, back, down, back, down, all the way down my rows. And each time I add a row, if I start on the left side working on the back, I would just have my hand around one row of hexies, so my hand can reach all the time. Even if I have a huge sheet of them off to my right, my left hand is just going to hold them together, hold the next row on each time as I sew down each strip. And I find that to work very well. Again, just, you know, the traditional start inside, catch that corner. Oops, I did knot that one off well, of course. Let me re-knot my thread, that wasn't very good. Again, you want it to catch inside, right in the corner. Catch right in the corner of the next one. Corner is the hardest part, and then the first stitch or 2 is the hardest because it's a little awkward, nothing's holding it together. But after you get through a couple stitches, you're literally just holding this little line together as you stitch, and you're just going to stitch. You're going to whip through, oops, didn't have that flat. You're going to whip through just the back a little bit at a time. And that's what I mean by holding them flat to each other as you whip stitch them, as opposed to this model where the thread is going to be showing on the front. When you do it this way, I've had no problems with the threads showing. See, you can see these that I've done. That's it.